During the month of Ramadan, mosques in Portugal become centers for worship and social activities for Muslims. Although the Muslim community in Portugal is a minority group, they uphold the Ramadan tradition with great enthusiasm, especially in mosques spread across major cities like Lisbon, Porto, and other regions. Here are some activities typically carried out by Muslims in mosques in Portugal during Ramadan. Tarawih prayer is a unique worship practice during the month of Ramadan, performed after the Isha prayer. In mosques in Portugal, Muslims gather every night to perform the Tarawih prayer in congregation. Although the number of mosques in Portugal is limited, in larger mosques like the Lisbon Mosque and Porto Mosque, Muslims can perform this prayer devoutly, both inside the mosque and in the spacious mosque courtyards. The Tarawih prayer is usually performed in 2 rak'ahs each time, but the number of rak'ahs can vary, ranging from 8 to 20 rak'ahs, depending on the local mosque's policies. During Ramadan, mosques in Portugal often hold lectures and study sessions that discuss the meaning of the month of Ramadan, the importance of fasting, and deepen understanding of the Qur'an. These study sessions are attended not only by adults but also by children who wish to learn more about Islam. Imams or scholars from various Arab countries or local communities often give lectures on the interpretation of the Qur'an, Islamic ethics, and how to live according to the principles of Islam that are taught during Ramadan. Additionally, there are special activities for children so they can learn about the meaning of Ramadan and Islamic teachings in a fun and engaging way. Iftar together is an important tradition for Muslims worldwide, including in Portugal. Many mosques in Portugal organize iftar events for Muslims who are fasting. This is a blessed and communal time, where Muslims break their fast after a day of fasting, usually starting with dates and water, in accordance with the Sunnah of Prophet Muhammad. Large mosques in Lisbon, Porto, and other areas often provide food for the iftar meal. The menu can vary, with dishes reflecting the cultural diversity of the Muslim community in Portugal, such as couscous, rice, soup, kebabs, and desserts. This activity also strengthens the bond among Muslims in the community. One of the key aspects of Ramadan is sharing with those in need. Many mosques in Portugal organize charitable activities during Ramadan. For example, many mosques collect donations to be given to poor families, orphan children, or those in need of other assistance, both within Portugal and abroad. In addition, mosques often organize free food distributions for the less fortunate or homeless, a way to show care and embody the spirit of sharing that is central to the teachings of Ramadan. Qiyamul-Layl, the night prayer performed during the last third of the night, becomes an even more intensive form of worship during Ramadan. In some of the larger mosques in Portugal, Muslims perform the night prayer in congregation, especially during the last nights of Ramadan, when they seek to enliven the last 10 nights in hopes of achieving blessings and possibly the night of decree, Laylatul Qadr, which is believed to be better than 1,000 months. Mosques in Portugal also offer religious training during Ramadan for both children and adults. In some mosques, there are special Qur'an classes for children, teaching them to read the Qur'an and understand its meaning. This is a way for parents to involve their children in worship activities during Ramadan and educate them about the significance of this holy month in Islam. In larger mosques, religious training or classes are also often held for adults who want to deepen their understanding of Islamic teachings, especially regarding the importance of fasting, the proper way to worship, and the spiritual values of Islam. Tadarus, or reading the Qur'an together, is a very common activity in mosques during Ramadan. Many Muslims in Portugal take the opportunity to engage in tadarus, either individually or in groups. Some mosques organize tadarus sessions after the Tarawih prayer or at certain times throughout the night. This is one way to draw closer to Allah and enhance understanding of the meaning of the Qur'an during the holy month of Ramadan. At the end of Ramadan, mosques in Portugal also make preparations to celebrate Eid al-Fitr. On the last night of Ramadan, mosques often hold night prayers or special events to welcome Eid al-Fitr, which also serves as a moment for families and Muslim friends to gather. On the morning of Eid al-Fitr, Muslims in Portugal gather at mosques to perform the Eid prayer in congregation. After the prayer, there is usually a social event or charity for orphan children and families in need. During the month of Ramadan, mosques in Portugal become centers for worship, social, and educational activities for Muslims. Although they are a minority group in this country, the Muslim community in Portugal continues to uphold and celebrate the holy month of Ramadan with dedication. Mosques play an important role in strengthening bonds among Muslims, providing spiritual support, and carrying out social activities that reflect the spirit of sharing during this blessed month. For Muslims working in Portugal or other countries, the month of Ramadan brings unique challenges and opportunities. Since many Muslims in Western countries, including Portugal, are a minority group, they often need to adjust their work routines to accommodate the fasting obligations, which last from dawn until sunset. During Ramadan, the fasting period lasts around 16 hours, and this can be challenging for Muslims who are working, especially if they have to go the entire day without eating or drinking. In some countries, particularly those with long working hours or extended summers, Muslims must find ways to manage their work. Some of the ways Muslims adjust in the workplace during Ramadan include: Muslims wake up before dawn for suhoor, a pre-dawn meal before fasting. Many schedule their suhoor earlier to ensure they have enough energy to work throughout the day. Some companies or employers may offer flexibility in working hours for Muslim employees during Ramadan. For example, they may be allowed to come in earlier or leave earlier to break their fast at home. In some places, this can even include longer break times to accommodate iftar. Facing long days without food or drink can lead to physical exhaustion. Employees who are fasting may feel drained in the middle of the day, especially if their work involves physical activity or full attention. Some people may find it difficult to stay focused while working, especially in the late afternoon leading up to iftar time. This can be an added challenge, particularly for those with jobs that require high concentration. Working in an inclusive and supportive environment is important for Muslims fasting. In workplaces that understand the significance of Ramadan, non-Muslim colleagues often show respect and understanding. Some forms of support that may occur include: colleagues who are not fasting may avoid eating or drinking in front of their fasting coworkers. This can help create a more comfortable environment for those who are fasting. Some workplaces with a significant number of Muslim employees may host iftar events at the office. This can be an opportunity to share time together and introduce Islamic culture to coworkers. In addition to meal times, fasting also affects other religious activities, such as prayer. During Ramadan, Muslims perform the 5 daily obligatory prayers, and many also strive to perform Tarawih prayers at night. In the workplace, this might mean some Muslims may need longer breaks or special permission to perform prayers at work. In workplaces that are diverse-friendly, companies may provide prayer spaces for Muslim employees. Workplaces often provide food or drinks in public areas, such as cafeterias or break rooms. During Ramadan, this can be a challenge for fasting Muslims, especially if many colleagues are not fasting and eating around them. Resisting the temptation to eat or drink at work can be one of the biggest challenges. Some Muslims choose to eat with supportive co-workers, while others prefer to eat in private spaces or avoid eating areas altogether. Some workplaces hold events or celebrations with food during Ramadan, and Muslims may have to choose not to participate in eating or drinking. However, many feel that their co-workers will understand and respect their decision. For companies with diversity-friendly policies, offering flexibility during Ramadan is a way to support Muslim employees. Some Muslim employees may not be able to work at full capacity during Ramadan, so companies may offer lighter workloads or extend deadlines. Some companies with a significant number of Muslim employees may organize iftar gatherings, which can help strengthen relationships among co-workers and provide an opportunity to share the joy of Ramadan. This is a great chance to share culture, introduce traditional Ramadan foods, and demonstrate the values of solidarity and brotherhood in Islam. Muslim life in the workplace during Ramadan involves physical, mental, and social adjustments. However, with support from supervisors and colleagues, as well as flexible policies, Muslims can navigate the month of Ramadan smoothly despite the challenges. In an inclusive and understanding workplace, Ramadan becomes a moment to strengthen social bonds and share experiences with one another. Muslim life in Portugal during the month of Ramadan is a unique experience, given that they are a minority group in the country. Although their numbers are not large, Muslims in Portugal continue to maintain the traditions of worship and Ramadan culture with great enthusiasm. During Ramadan, mosques and Islamic centers in Portugal become key places for Muslims to worship together. In major cities like Lisbon and Porto, there are several mosques that hold Tarawih prayers, a special Sunnah prayer during Ramadan. Every night after the Isha prayer, Muslims gather to perform Tarawih prayers in larger numbers than usual. In addition to Tarawih prayers, many mosques also hold religious lectures, tafsir or Qur'an study, to deepen Muslims' understanding of the significance of Ramadan. This also becomes an opportunity to strengthen social bonds among Muslims in the community. Iftar, or breaking the fast, is one of the important moments in the life of Muslims during Ramadan. In Portugal, Muslims often organize communal iftar events at mosques or homes. Many mosques in major cities like Lisbon hold open iftar events where Muslims and people from various backgrounds can gather and share meals. Iftar typically begins with dates and water, following the Sunnah of the Prophet Muhammad, PBUH, and is then followed by a main meal that includes traditional dishes from Morocco, Guinea-Bissau, or other African countries that are home to many Muslim communities in Portugal. The meals often consist of rice, couscous, meat, soup, and sweets. Ramadan in Portugal often coincides with the summer season, which means fasting hours can be very long. In some areas, fasting can last more than 16 hours, especially in June or July, when daylight is longer. This can be a challenge for Muslims, both physically and socially, as they have to fast for hours, especially if they are working or studying. However, many Muslims in Portugal adapt in their own ways, such as bringing food for suhoor before dawn or taking advantage of lunchtime to sleep longer so they don't get too tired while fasting. During Ramadan, Muslims in Portugal are very active in charitable and social activities. Giving to others is an important part of Ramadan, and many Islamic organizations in Portugal organize fundraising efforts to help those in need. These programs not only focus on the Muslim community but also on the wider public, including providing food for the less fortunate or homeless. Some organizations also hold fundraisers to help orphans, people with illnesses, or educational programs in Muslim-majority countries that are in greater need. Many mosques and Islamic cultural centers in Portugal also provide religious education during Ramadan. In Lisbon and Porto, some mosques offer classes for children and adults who want to learn more about the teachings of Islam, the importance of fasting, and the spiritual meaning of Ramadan. Seminars on how to fast healthily, as well as how to balance daily life with worship, are also often organized. This is an opportunity for Muslims to deepen their understanding of their faith and observe Ramadan with greater devotion. Because the number of Muslims in Portugal is relatively small, Ramadan is also a time when many non-Muslims are interested in learning more about Islam. Some mosques in Lisbon and other major cities hold open events or tours to introduce Islam and Ramadan traditions to the wider community. These interactions often strengthen community ties, providing Muslims with an opportunity to share their experiences and explain the significance of Ramadan. As a minority, Muslims in Portugal sometimes face challenges during Ramadan. Some workplaces or schools may not fully understand the needs of fasting Muslims, so they may have to face difficulties in adjusting their work or school schedules to accommodate their religious obligations. The life of Muslims in Portugal during the month of Ramadan is a blend of worship, social activities, and challenges as a minority group. Despite facing some obstacles, the Muslim community in Portugal remains committed to observing fasting and strengthening their social bonds, both within the Muslim community itself and with the wider society. Ramadan in Portugal is not only a moment for worship but also an opportunity to introduce and educate others about Islamic values and the importance of sharing with one another.